I got a guest here that has a question about the COVID-19. He thinks that COVID-19 is real, and you and I talked about this a while ago. Could you explain to him what you explained to me about the COVID-19? You could do it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or however you want to do it, but could you explain that to this gentleman in my studio?
Enlighten me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, COVID-19, first of all, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
The COVID-19, the coronavirus is a virus.
Mm-hmm.
The COVID-19 is disease.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the virus is the same as pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that has a symptom of pneumonia, they'll call it COVID-19 because they're getting paid $35,000 to $40,000 just to call it that.
Yep.
They laid off people at the hospitals because the more people they can lay off, the more people, the more numbers they could do without people finding out.
Mm-hmm.
The theory is that 5G is causing this.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why the theory is 5G is causing this is because in around November 11th last year,
Mm-hmm.
China released their 5G. And about a week to 2 weeks later, they had their first case of the so-called coronavirus. Here in Ohio, we released our 5G March the 11th. By the 16th, we had our first case. And it goes on. You can pull up any state in the country, anywhere in the country and find out. They said that was it Europe or Italy or something was the next worst place.
I think it was Italy.
When you go online, just ask when was their 5G release, and then look at the first case of the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And the dates should match right on up. And so people ask me, they say, well, 5G has been around for a while.
Right.
5G has been around.
Dr. Bob,
Yes,
I'm about to merge another call with you. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I just merged another call. Is this Gigi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Gigi, you on the phone with Dr. Bob. He's talking about the COVID virus right now. So when he get done, I want you to chime in. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Bob.
So I remember what was that?
about the cases of where 5G started in the cases of coronavirus.
Okay, so when we on the phone, like I said, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I want you to do a little research.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do is ask what are the symptoms of radiation poisoning. And the thing is, radiation poisoning has been a problem. They was already looking at it a couple years back before that so-called virus came. But here again, and I mentioned something to you about the date. I lost my train of thought there. But let me ask you a question. Do you have any specific questions? Oh, I was telling you about technology. If people said that the technology has been, they said, well, I had a 5G phone for the last year or two. The technology has been around, but the frequency hasn't.
That's why
so even though you might have had a 5G phone or a 5G laptop, you really wasn't using the 5G signal. Not till now. And then if you notice, so they've been laying all these fiber optics. If you notice, they didn't close down the construction whatsoever, and the streets are being dug up everywhere, all across the country.
True.
And I mean, come on, we never had this much digging in ever.
That's right.
You know, it'd be a street closed here, a turnpike closed there. Streets are whipped up everywhere.
Right.
Because they're trying to get all this cable down. And truthfully, I don't even think it's over. I think this was like a test run, and they're gonna. I don't even think if the signal was on or if it's even more power. But the thing is, the 5G signal is very weak. It only travels 200 feet. 4G and 3G, it travels a great distance. But the 5G don't travel far. It has a lot of power, but it don't travel far. So what they have to do is
they need the towers to
add more towers.
Yeah, right. I got
so Verizon put in like 168 towers when it first started. And they plan on putting in another 800 before it's all over. So they're putting in what they call mini towers. And they're like boosters. So imagine your car amplifier, a booster. And that's what it is. These little mini towers boost the signal so it can travel further.
So you saying the signal, once they get these towers up and they get everything running, they start bouncing, the high frequency radiation frequency is going to start affecting people more now?
Well, you know, I don't think it's going to be more. It's just one thing. God really made us well. He made the body to be able to adapt. So some people are going to get sick, some people not. People with underlying conditions already, they're more likely, and the elderly is more likely. At the beginning of this, they said that black people couldn't get sick. The reason they said black people get sick because nobody's seen it. People get sick, but that's because they started putting the towers around the city. You know, Pepper Pike, Orange Village, all the suburbs. So more white people was out there. So that's why you heard about more white people get sick. Once they brought it into the neighborhood, now University Heights is a red zone. Well, the tower, the police station right there, they got a massive tower sitting right there in the center of University.
They sure do.
And that's why it was a red zone. So many people get sick because it's so. I have one directly across my backyard.
Yeah, he told me.
And I was coming out in the yard when it first started. I got nauseated every time I was out in the yard for more than 30 minutes. And that went on for about 2 weeks. Finally, my body got used to it. I was able to go out in the yard. And I was trying to figure out why, because I'm like, the sickness only lasts while I was outside. When I went in the house, after a minute for a while, it went away. So what I did when I came out of the yard, I looked around for it, and sure enough, directly across my backyard, they got a massive tower.
So this whole COVID-19 thing is just something to blame it on and take the focus off the 5G towers.
Well, if they said, hey, these 5G could kill some people going to live, some people could die, but we need this 5G to finish our technology, people would be against it. They would burn the towers down, blow them up, knock them down, anything they could do because they would be scared of it.
But they already told
so
us
they needed to give people some hope. So they said, okay, look, you know what? This is a virus. If you wear a mask, well, CDC said that the mask only protects you 1.5% out of 100. 1%. So that tells you the mask ain't shit.
I said that. That's why I didn't wear it. I wear it in public to make other people feel comfortable.
Now, like I said, I'm not a fool. People are getting sick, no doubt about it, and people die. But I think they're really lying about why. And so if you ask yourself, you say, well, China and America can't agree on nothing. And then you ask in other countries, Europe and Asia and all these countries, they can't agree on nothing. So how can they agree on this? Well, the United Nations is the superpower. It's the last head of the. If you go to Revelation, it talks about the last head is going to rise to power. That's the United Nations. Now we won't see it in our time because it can last 1,000 years. But this is the final head that's rising, and so the United Nations. The only person that can broker this deal is telecommunications, because telecommunications have all the major components. The first component is everybody in the world uses telecommunications and Wi-Fi. That's the first thing. The second thing is the money. So everybody's getting stimulus money. They get a loan of small businesses. The money that you don't got to pay back. Well, the government is already, $20 trillion in deficit. They couldn't afford to do this. But the telecommunications, you figure there's got to be 3 million people with cell phones at least. And if you charge, in fact, $100 a month for 3 million people, they make something like
that's a couple of billion right there.
The number's crazy, and that's per month. So if they give us, $300 million or some crazy little number like that, that's like tax money. That's nothing. Then it'll be a tax write-off for the telecommunications anyway.
Well, Dr. Bob, don't we got to pay that money back anyway?
Say it again?
Do we have to pay that money back at the end of the year through our own tax dollars?
No. That's the thing. The government is not going to have to pay this money back. And that's, first of all, the United Nations, all the top heads made money on this deal first. That's what allowed it to go through in the first place. Secondly, you need the technology in order to have smart cars and and computers
Look at
that
Tesla. Tesla got his car
it
out.
don't need it don't need it to be confined in a box.
Uh-huh.
So you need these 5G for that. All the facial recognition.
Yep.
If you look in China, it's 2 cameras for every 1 person. Right now, they can tell you. Think about the riots right now. You heard the president say, you know what? Don't worry about the riots because our facial recognition, we're going to be able to arrest everybody.
Yep.
You never heard that
He
ever.
did say that. Yes, he did.
The reason you hear it now is because now 5G is available and facial recognition's been around on a small scale at airports and, if they use a satellite, it's on a small scale.
Satellite technology.
But now it's going to be available to even the doggone police departments.
Right. Well, hey, Dr. Bob, that's why I called you, because they were saying it's the virus, and I kept saying, well, the research I did, because I listened to what you said, I did my research too, but I wanted them to hear from someone else other than me. That's why I called you, because I wanted them to hear what you had to say. And if y'all don't believe them, you can look it up.
If you look at a common cold, if we all in the same room and somebody got a cold, we're gonna catch it. 6 feet distancing, and that's a joke.
It is.
That's a joke. That's not gonna stop an airborne virus.
Yeah. Because spores
If you look
go
at the simple movies, the zombie movies that's out, they get a virus that spreads like wildfire. It's airborne. There ain't gonna be no 1 person here, no 3 people there. It's gonna spread like wildfire.
Well, see, the hospitals are making money. They need these high
they
numbers.
definitely wouldn't be laying off medical workers.
Hey, thank you.
So why are they
That's
laying
what I'm
off
saying.
medical
They
workers?
let medical workers go because the medical workers can debunk that bullshit. Talk about we just got 19,000 new COVID cases. Well, do we know this for real?
But you know what? This is the part that nobody pay attention to. They gave us a number. They said, and this number is to try to scare you. They said 100,000 people died from COVID-19. All right? Now, that sounds like a lot. But in 2017, 2.5 million people died from pneumonia. But see, this 100,000 scares people because people don't know the real numbers of everything else.
Yeah.
So if 2 million people died of pneumonia, why didn't we hear about that?
Yeah.
They didn't make no money.
No, but they making money now.
See, this is meant to scare you
They making
so they can do certain things. They said,
So
the other thing, they said, why do you want people to be 6 feet apart? Well, they got to calibrate this. They got to calibrate the machines. So if the machines are trying to do facial recognition, the satellite now, they have different satellites. So right now we probably got 3,200 satellites flying around over the earth, owned by different companies.
Yep.
Everybody's studying the technology company they're trying to get in. The government had a satellite that could zoom down and look exactly at you and see who it is. But nobody else. Now, with the social distancing and 6 feet apart, if a small satellite, if it's not another satellite looks in the sky, it would be, if it was 10 people together, you would see 1 person. There'll be 1 blob. But right now, with social distancing, they can pick up every single person because they're not standing, so it's not going to look like 1. It's going to look like 10 or 15 or how many in there.
I have a new phone that has a box in it that separates each other through facial recognition. That phone right there alone, right there, does that. Okay. You and your wife and I can be standing here. That fucking would distinguish all 3 of us.
People say that facial recognition. They don't like, you can do facial recognition.
Nice.
They can hear everything we say, blah, blah, blah. They don't care about what you're saying. They don't care about what you're doing. They want to be able to go back. So if you do something just like this riot, they can go back and look at that date and that time and see who did what. But they're not going to sit around and listen about what you talk about. You eat cheeseburgers and all. They don't care about that. Right. They want to be able to go back.
Okay. Hey.
And the 5G, another thing that it allows, their goal is to do stuff like you walk out of your front yard and say, I need an Uber. The facial recognition and the signal, it'll pick up the voice that you said you need an Uber. It will order you an Uber. The picture will be sent to Uber, so when Uber comes to your house, they'll see who you are, and you didn't have to do anything but go out your yard and say, I need an Uber.
They working on this?
That's just the yeah, they work on it. That's just the beginning of 5G. 5G is so powerful.
Damn, that's tight.
It's no end at this point of what they can do.
Movies years ago, they had this technology in the movies.
So they were going to have it regardless if the country raised hell or not. If millions of people died, they were still going to have it because it's too much money.
Dr. Bob, check
Too
this
much
out. Dr. Bob,
control.
Dr. Bob, check
It's
this
all
out.
about controlling us.
Listen to this, Dr. Bob.
So it's too much control and too much money for them not to have it.
There was a movie with Keanu Reeves and no, not that one, where he was a scientist and they was developing clean energy through water technology and what's his name? Forget his name. He was they was all CIA and Keanu Reeves was a scientist and they stole his technology and killed all the scientists so they could keep it because the scientists was going to bring the technology out to the public to let the public know we don't need gas or cold fuel. We can run shit off of just water through this some type of laser, whatever. So forget his name. He played the president one time. Gray hair.
I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you something.
All right.
That little guy that stands in the background of the president, the doctor. I'm not getting his name. Doctor, whatever the guy's name is. His job that's his job to find technology that's gonna lose and make the world lose money and cover it up and hide it. He does that. If you pull his name up, that's what he does.
Okay.
They'll fire you, kill you, and then another thing here. Why haven't the president be wearing a mask? He has not worn a mask.
I haven't seen the governor wearing a
If
mask.
you look at if you just think about it for a second, he started trying to open the city up 2 to 3 weeks after the virus started. Why? Because he got knowledge we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that it takes 2 to 3 weeks for the symptoms. Radiation poisoning shows the symptoms in 2 to 3 weeks. Some got your sick, some not. After that, the numbers will start to decline. Some people who have not been exposed to it, they'll start to get sick, but the numbers are not going to change unless they have not released it all.
Dr. Bob, I have a young lady in the studio that want to ask you a question. You want to ask them something?
Okay.
Go ahead.
My thing is this. That sounds really convincing, the things that you're saying. But the thing that I'm thinking about is they're really killing people. So they have to be giving them something. You can go in with all of these symptoms, but they have to, with this test and whatever they're doing, has to have something on them that's infecting the people.
That's why they want you to come in and be tested. They put that shit in you.
Right.
So you gotta understand, it ain't gonna do the virus.
How are you trusting China to bring the testing
Hold
materials
on,
here?
I'm not hearing you. Repeat that.
Take the chair right here.
My question is this here. Everything that you said sounds valid. The thing that's concerning me is, like I talked to my husband before, I said the people that are getting tested are coming in with symptoms, not necessarily positive at that time. I believe that they're giving them something that's making them sick and making them die. That is on the testing material, and they're getting these testing materials from China, where it all started from, they say. So it's a lot involved with them getting rid of people that I believe, and they're making these people sick. There's something going around. They're not telling us exactly what it is.
Someone said
they're giving it a name, but it got to be something else.
Someone said
they're
to me,
infecting these people.
if you get sick, don't go to the hospital because you will not come home.
You know what? You are 100% correct. It is something going on, and nobody knows exactly what it is, and we don't, but I tell you this, coronavirus has been around for years.
Mm-hmm.
Because all it is a virus. That's all it is. Once it reaches a certain stage, then it's called COVID-19, and that's a disease.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed something that had the same symptoms as COVID-19. So since they already had that, all we got to do is find out, hey, we got radiation poisoning going on. We have the same symptoms as radiation poisoning.
Now, mind you, they got a patent on it, so they know how to work with it.
So we'll use COVID-19, you know, and so what it really does, and they're going to tell you this about COVID-19, it's exactly the same as the way you explain it. What it does is it kills certain cells in your body. Once it kills the cells in your body, they fall down in your stomach and in your kidneys. And, your lungs. Fall down your lungs. And your body's natural defenses is what's killing you because it's trying to fight that off. So your body's natural defenses is killing you, trying to save you. Now, what ends up happening is it develops a mucus. You start to get a cold, fevers. You can't breathe. So it's like a sponge. Imagine a sponge with water in it. It gets so sucked, your lungs are so soaked up with all this mucus, now you can't breathe. So they put you on a respirator. Mm-hmm. Now, your body system might fight off.
They charge you for that respirator.
And it may not.
That's where the money come in. They charge you for that.
They also, now this is supposed to be a myth, but it sounds really, really convincing to me. And that is that a lot of places are forcing their employees to take the flu shot every year.
Right.
I was told that the flu shot, if you have the flu shot and you had the flu shot, if you go get tested right now, you'll test positive for COVID-19.
Oh, wow.
Now, that don't mean you got,
Never get it.
You'll test positive for coronavirus. Now, that don't mean you have COVID-19. That just means that you will test positive for the coronavirus. So all these numbers of all these thousands of people who test positive, well, they should, because all these same people are willing to get their doggone flu test every year.
Yep. That testing thing that he's trying to make, put this way, Trump stopped them from trying to make the testing mandatory. Okay? Yeah. He's like, hell no.
But the test is mandatory.
But no, he stopped them from making it mandatory for us to go in there and we have to get it. No. Fuck that. It's an option.
I don't take the flu shot.
I don't take the flu shot either.
If you want to medical care, you have to have it. Now, what they did was they said at the beginning you have to have it. But no, wait a minute, let me take that back. You did not have to have it. Mm-hmm. You had to agree. So that's how the numbers came. That's how I came with the numbers. They said we have to have 100% of people who are willing to take the shot. Mm-hmm. So when they ask people, they say, would you be willing to take the flu shot? A lot of employees say yes. And those who didn't say yes, of course, they got bullied. So they tried to come up with a lawsuit to sue them. And it is loopholes because some health organizations decided that it was going to be mandatory. So the law didn't really support that way. It's a certain way you had to go around it, and some of the medical field didn't do it. They just bully people. You're going to do it, or you're not going to work here. But that's the thing. They try to make it mandatory, and they try to make it mandatory for more than just the medical field. They try to make it mandatory for everybody.
So what is the thing as far as
so let me ask you a question. Vaccine? I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop in a second. Let me tell you this.
All right.
Babies, when a baby is born, they started giving them the flu shot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about so it can protect their immune system. Their immune system don't start developing for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so why are they giving them this shot? What is in this shot? Because they ain't keep them protected cold because they don't have an immune system yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of children have autism.
They were saying a lot of that is results of the autism. Kids was getting autism to handle.
So my question is this: what is this whole thing about this vaccine that they're trying to create?
That's the thing. I think that vaccine gets to do with the COVID.
I'm glad you asked that question.
I think that's it.
That vaccine is owned by Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so he puts the vaccine out there. That don't make him richer than he already is.
Mm-hmm. See, my thing is they're supposedly creating a vaccine, but everybody's immune system and everybody's body is different. Like, could it create like some kind of super virus or something?
I don't think so.
See, the thing is, we don't really know what the vaccine is for. That's the whole thing. It could be a vaccine for common cold. We don't know. We'll never know.
And
Well, once they get something and they say, hey, we got something that can fight this, people are going to take it by the doggone truckload.
Blindly.
Yeah. Except me, I'm not.
Blind, yep. And that's what's going on now. Because it's said it on the news, because we watch the news, they say this is what's going on. Everybody believe it.
Oh, man, this is mind conditioning.
Of course it is.
We learned about this when I was in high school many, many moons ago. It's mind conditioning. If I keep telling you this thing over and over again, you're going to believe it.
It's a psyop.
Yes, you are.
It's all part of psyop training. It's all about, because we did it in the military.
Man.
It's all about.
I mean, look what they do. Look what they do to our kids right now. Right now,
They're brainwashed.
right now, every single TV show that you watch. I was watching Supergirl. Every TV show got a gay couple on there.
Oh yeah.
That's why I don't watch
what they do
Supergirl no more.
They desensitizing our kids to make them think it's okay.
Yeah. That's brainwashing like a mother. They get them at a young age.
You know?
Get them young.
Yep, and they'll keep up. Yep. And so their kids, by the time our kids, by the time my grandkids have kids, they're gonna go up thinking, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. You just pick what you want.
And they got that on that TV show Black Lightning also.
Oh really?
Your daughter.
Right. Every show you look at, you know what? They don't even have a real. If you look at, I guarantee you, if you watch 5 programs right now, you're probably only going to see one program with a regular couple. They're not showing you no couples. If they show you any couples, it'll be a gay couple. They won't show you like a guy and a girl having, you know what I'm saying? Very rarely now do you see that in a show.
It's bad. They want people to think that it's not normal anymore, that it's bad, that it's played out, and it's not. It's craziness that they really gonna mess up our society to the point where they think that, oh, I don't like this, so I can go, like they're giving them options that really was never options.
But Paula, it also pushes getting rid of the man out the house.
Absolutely.
It also pushes normal marriages or normalcy in a household. It pushes that away. It makes everything abnormal.
That was done back in the 70s.
And it's on 100,000 right now. It went from that to where it's a normal thing to be now. People really ain't gay, but they feel, well, it's the end thing to do. I'm gonna be gay. You just pick and out the clear blue, because it's a normal thing to do now. If you ain't gay, something wrong with you. This one girl said that she know girls that go have babies because they feel if they don't have a baby around their friends with babies, the women with babies look at them funny. Like, something wrong with you. Why you ain't got a baby yet? I'm 15. What the fuck I need a baby for? But they 15, 16, look at her 15, 16-year-old friends thinking something wrong with her. Wow. Yeah. I have a friend that lives in this building. She's 28, no kids. And she told me she had to cut her friends loose because they had babies.
Hey, Saxman.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I got to go, yo.
Well, take your ass on then, Dr. Bob. Nice talking to you. I'm glad
all right, y'all have a good evening.
You too. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Gigi, are you still on the phone? Gigi, you still on the phone?
I'm still here on this thing on radio.
Oh, Gigi, you still on the phone?
I was about to go to sleep.
Gigi, don't go to sleep on me, baby. I'm sorry. I meant to call him earlier because I knew you supposed to be calling after 8. I meant to call him earlier, but we was having a good conversation. And Dr. Bob get to going, it's like, he's like a freight train. You can't stop him.
Barricades and all.
Well, yeah, that's a good topic.
He's serious. But, so what's been going on with you, Gigi?
Shoot, Dad.
You still doing
the
are you still doing the G thing?
Every now and then.
Okay, you doing it on what? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram? What are you doing it on?
So I usually do like a thought for the day, something like that.
On which one?
But I haven't been doing it for a minute.
Which one? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Okay. I was wondering because I ain't seen you in a while. I kind of missed you. Yeah, I kind of missed you. I ain't seen you in a while.
Because I haven't been doing nothing.
Well, when you gonna come out the house? When you gonna come around?
Huh?
When you gonna get out the house and come around? What's up?
Man, listen. This this going on around there.
You act like
people
you
believe what they want to believe. I believe in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and I done read it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm staying my tail where it's supposed to be. I go out if I have to, and you know, and go accordingly.
You stay in the house.
Yeah.
I know
Hey,
that's right.
Gigi.
Unless I'm going to the stop.
Gigi and I go way back. We go back 50 years, and that girl,
I ain't mad at you.
she's a wild woman. That's my honey bunch. She used to. We used to talk a lot on the phone. Me, her, and our other friend Bonnie. But let me ask you a question about Bonnie. Is it because Smarty got mad that me and Mike used to call her all the time? Is the reason why she don't call me no more or change her phone number?
Dude, I know you ain't get me on no dang on radio to ask me about no dang on body. I know you ain't doing this like that. You was how and you asking me to get me on the radio. You know what, Zach?
I put you on the spot.
I am watching a TV show anyhow, because I'm really into it. So I'm going to get off of this. But I will call you again next Friday at 8 o'clock.
Call me back next Friday at 8 o'clock. That way you'll be the only one on the phone. We can talk about the G thing.
Okay.
And Bonnie.
Boy, I love you. All right? And I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, baby.
See you later.
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You see, you got your ass in trouble.
I done got That's my girl, man. Me and her go way back. She used to call in when I was at the other radio store. And she used to go off on me, man. And everybody else just be cracking up. I just let her go off on me. She just go off. That's my girl, man. And Bonnie, so we all come up together. But Bonnie got married. This guy was like locked her down.
Wow.
So we all used to hang. Me, Mike, Steve, Gigi, Bonnie. And, so we was like close. So we call, talk on the phone. But he used to get mad thinking that me and my boy Mike wanted his wife.
Wow.
I'm like, no, we grew up together. Me and her brothers used to hang out and stuff. So he got mad, like, you fucking him, And Mike was like, I live all the way in Virginia. I got a long ass penis. If I could screw her, he say that's a trick. I can go all the way. He all the way in Virginia. He said, I got a hell of a long penis. I can do that shit. Bonnie laughed. So I think her husband got mad. He was like, well, I'm going to cut you completely off of both of them. We used to talk on the phone, man, for hours, man. Three-way conversations and be cracking up. He be in the background pissed off. He's like, how the hell can I be screwing? I'm all the way in fucking Virginia. I come to Cleveland once a year, man. That's in the wintertime. I don't go around nobody. So, so that's why she don't want to talk about it, because she know how sensitive the situation is right now.
Wow.
It's a sensitive situation.
Wow.
Sensitive. It's 50 years. We've known each other for 50 years.